Where's the father? Who's the real father? Which one of you is the real mom? Oh, you're having a C-section? Was that part of your birth plan? Oh, I'm sorry, you can't take bereavement time. Your miscarriage wasn't a real funeral. You have to take vacation. Oh my God. She had her baby in a birthing tub in her living room by candlelight, listening to Enya. She's a real warrior. OMG, she totes gave birth to her own baby after 27 hours in labor with no Pitocin. She's what a real warrior looks like. Pregnancy is a shit sandwich. You'll hear a lot in the birth community what real birth looks like and what real parenting looks like. Well, I'm here to tell you a little story because I've been hearing a lot about what a real warrior looks like, and I'm gonna give you a couple of nuggets of wisdom about that. But first I wanna tell you that fertility medicine is what I like to call a foot-long shit sandwich. I'm sorry, I'm really nervous.
You got it!
So, fertility medicine is a multi-billion-dollar industry that is built for straight folks. They really like to take our money, us queer folks, when it comes to respecting us around wording and paperwork and imagery and just general competency, not so much. I'm going to be having a baby due on March 1st via C-section. Yeah, I don't have a choice, but the interesting thing about that is that I don't have to explain myself because fuck that shit, right? I'm also a lesbian, if you didn't catch that, and so is my wife, or at least I hope so. I hope she falls somewhere on the queer continuum. I've had 7 intrauterine inseminations. I've had 3 in vitro fertilizations. I've had 1 miscarriage. I've had about 500 shots over the last 4 years in and around my belly button, in my arm, and in my ass meat. That's the best shot. That's super fun. You should try it. I've had, my wife has actually had her eggs harvested twice as well. I've had a couple hundred blood draws. I think they've taken so much blood out of my body, I'm surprised I'm not a vampire. I've had hundreds of ultrasounds, and not the nice ones on the outside of the tum-tum, the ones where they use a wand and they get in and kind of poke around. I've had a hysterossalpingogram, sonohysterogram. I've had polypectomies, lots of grams, lots of me's. I've been on and off birth control, which is really interesting for a lesbian who's not having straight sex. It does a number, it's a doozy on your hormones, I'll just say. I've also had a lot of people looking at my vag. I'm just kind of like laying there and there's like all these random people in the room and I'm like, welcome to my junk. I've also had a lot of men do exams on me, and sometimes male doctors sort of lack the empathy to understand the vaginal canal is not, in fact, a giant causeway where you can go barreling down it at 80 miles per hour and jackknife left or right whenever you fucking feel like it. Yeah, so I could regale you with tales of woe about how this whole experience has been very, very frustrating over the last 4 years, but I'm just gonna give you one little nugget about this shit sandwich experience. About 8-9 weeks ago, we went in for our anatomy scan, and that's where you go in mid-pregnancy and they sort of measure the baby, the brain, the heart, the valves. They wanna make sure there isn't 2 heads growing and 15 eyeballs, and possibly like a crouching tiger hidden twin or something like that. And so I invited my mom to this. Of course, my wife was there. And but I invited my mom because I think the miscarriage for her was just as traumatic. It's gotta be hard watching your grown child lose her pregnancy And then also lose her shit, and you can't really do anything about it. I know that's gotta be hard. I don't know what that's like because I don't have a grown child yet. But I invited my mom, and my wife is there. Ultrasound tech was awesome. She walks in the room, we're talking. She let us know that we were one of 7 couples that week who had chosen not to know the gender of the baby. She thought that was quite odd because everyone always wants to know the gender of their baby. And so we were in some pretty cool company that week, I think. So she gets done with this procedure. It's about 45 minutes, leaves the room to the land of Oz in the other room to go talk to the doctor. And they kind of look at the scans and make sure they got everything. And sometimes they have to come back in and do some more scanning. So I'm laying there literally with my pants down and goop on my tum-tum. And so the doctor walks back in the room following the ultrasound tech, and he goes right past my mom, right past my wife, no introductions, doesn't really say much to me, and then he sort of shuffles his paper and turns around and he goes, "Where's the father?" So I'm laying there and I'm thinking, wow, I can't really jump up from this position of disempowerment with my pants down and tell somebody to fuck off. But yeah, where's the father? You're looking at the father and the mother, and the other father and mother is sitting right in the room. The parents of this child are in this room, and you better goddamn address us as such, don't you think? This is 2017. We need to do better. We need to practice better medicine that's a little more equitable, that respects the choices that people make, not the biases that we have. And sometimes when I think about this whole thing, and I think about what a warrior is, they're gonna fillet my stomach and take my intestines out and pull a baby out, slap it on my chest, and sew me back up. And I've been going through this shit for 4 years. This is what a warrior looks like, in case you're wondering.